Hey guys, so today I'm gonna try something a little bit different with my audio, and at any point that I need to say something or talk about something, I'm going to put that in post editing just because I'm super tired of my computer sounding like an airplane in the background of these videos. I really like Dragon Age. I want it to be like you guys are watching a movie with a little bit of commentary, so I don't want to be like interrupting, and I don't want constantly in the background just a huge airplane noise. So hopefully it doesn't ruin the authenticity of it. It's not like I've played this game so many times, I know what's coming, so there's nothing like that we're gonna miss out on with my reactions. So anyway, just gonna put some audio in post if I need to, and hopefully it sounds fine. I don't know. We had left off, we had just found some iron bark buried in a little pile of dirt behind this waterfall here in one of the maps that we had collected. It's right here on the map, just behind the Templar camp. Wasn't entirely sure what all I wanted to do today on the map. I couldn't remember what this was. I thought maybe it was a requisition thing, quest, something. But we'll go back to a camp over here and do everything in kind of this southern region, get all these quests taken care of. I was just remembering that there does come a time where you need to use all the members of your party. I'm not going to give spoilers. The game is old, so there's a point where you need to save some people in Haven, and it's a good idea to have, I think it's just Cassandra or any other warrior you have. They need to have that ability, I think. No, it's this one, Shield Bash, I believe, so she can bash through a door. So get your skills up before you go rushing through the story. Oh, and I'm also going to leave my webcam off. There's not really a need for you guys to see my face, and now you can see the map and the party approvals without my giant head getting in the way. Since I'm doing the audio separately, I'm going to go ahead and read all of these things that I find. Let me know if you guys like that or not. I don't have to. It'll take some time, so I don't know if you guys want that. But I'm going to do it in this video. Let me know if you like it. A letter in an empty home. Brythus, I know you escaped with the other mages, and I know you'll come here. Father told you that if you ever strayed, he'd put you down himself. If you're here, you know he's dead, but I'm not. I'll be killing apostates and waiting for you at Old Phoenix Place to the north. I've got Father's sword and my true brothers in the Templars. Come if you're man enough. Yvain.
Interesting reading. Could be worth a look.
While I'm out and about hunting for the other quests, remember to kill the rams so that you can get the meat for hunger pangs. That's what I'm doing right now while I'm hunting down the rest of the things that pop up.
One down!
Another map. I don't remember this one, so I'll have to look it up. Sketch of Kalanad's foothold. It looks like two Mabari hound statues next to a crumbled tower. So if we see that, maybe we can find it without looking it up. I don't know. I don't know what was going on here. I don't know what my computer was doing, what it was thinking, but it kept lagging really bad. And then once the fight was over, somehow, however it was over, the audio was also delayed. And so you can hear, the people yelling from the fighting and my spells, like, super delayed. It's very strange. Doesn't happen again. Never had that happen before. I think it's because I'm recording. Got this new computer for no frickin' reason. Can't frickin' record. I'm sorry. I complain about my computer a lot. It does work really well.
Apostates
Much
have
better
fled
than
to
my
the
old one,
hills.
but it's still frustrating. Stronghold of the apostate mages. Let the fools in Redcliffe play the good mage. As they always do, we know the truth. This world is ours to conquer, and every worthless peasant who threw a stone, every Templar who glared in disappointment at our harrowing, deserves to know it. Follow the trail to the Witch Wood and find your brothers. An unsigned letter, the scratched handwriting almost too sloppy to read. Astrariums. Regarding your inquiry regarding the so-called Astrariums, it is our considered belief that these are relics from a cult that existed in the pre-Andrastian era of the Deventer Imperium. Now, what would be considered a cult in a society that worshipped the old gods? An order of magisters who believed in the destruction of the magisterium, the governing body of the Imperium, that determines which mages are and are not given the magister title. The members of this order wish to return to an earlier period where dreamers ruled. And for some reason, I forgot to scroll on that, so I can't read the rest of it. But I love these things. It's just an added fun little, there's a lot of them, so by the end of the game, it gets kind of tedious. But I really enjoy them. It's an extra added little puzzle that's, super different from anything else in the game. Love when games do that. So you have to create the shape or the image down in the bottom right hand corner, and you cannot go over the same line more than one time. Constellation Judex. Depicted as a downturned sword, the constellation Judex is oft called the Sword of Mercy in common parlance. Even though the sword image was assigned to these stars long before Andraste's time, Judex referred to the concept of justice in ancient Deventer, and the downturned aspect of the sword indicated a guilty verdict, which, in those times, generally translated to execution. Obviously, with its modern meaning and use as a symbol by the Templar Order, the old interpretation is frowned upon in scholarly circles. From a study of Theodosian astronomy by Sister Oran Petrachius? Petrarchius? I'm sorry. Lots of weird names. Okay.
Weird.
Where does this lead?
Look at the little nugs. They're so cute. The little creatures. I want one in real life. They're too cute.
You know, not every dwarf likes caves.
Side note, if you want a little story, I had an online friend who sadly passed away. She used to have an Etsy shop where she crocheted. She could probably do anything you wanted. Any kind of animal, creature, person. She used to crochet a lot of stuff.
One of the supply caches Whittle wanted us to find.
I had ordered from her a nug stuffy, a little crocheted nug. It's the cutest little thing. And for some reason now I have a tradition where I stick it in my Christmas tree every year. I don't know. It's one of my favorite little stuffies that I have because Dragon Age is my favorite game. A letter found on a dead dwarf. I need you to check a cave up in the hills off the path between Redcliffe and Haven. If you can get past the mages and Templars, it's worth it. Purest vein I've seen so close to the surface. Look at this poor little nug stuck behind this chest. Come on, little dude. Don't get stuck again. Letter found on a noblewoman's corpse. My lady Leliana, I know you're frightened, but the light in the sky shouldn't scare you. It's the eye of the Maker finally coming back to take the faithful to the Golden City. Leave your father's servants and come up to the hills, away from the pointless fighting between Templars and mages. Let me introduce you to Speaker Anais. She'll explain everything, and we'll be together and happy, waiting for everything to be right in the world. I think there was actually more to that letter, but for some reason I didn't scroll. So there's a specific quest that the entire time I was playing today, I was like, for some reason I was just looking so hard for this one quest. And it's this elf man who the Templars thought was an apostate and they killed him. And you can get his wedding ring to take back to his wife. I thought it was over here, but I don't find him. And I could have swore the first time I had played, I found him first, found his ring, and then found his wife. But I'm thinking you have to talk to his wife first now. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. But you'll see me go back and forth a lot at the end of the thing, at the end of the episode, for no reason. Because I'm trying to hunt for this one quest. I don't know why. Last ram! Now I don't have to kill them anymore.
Shouldn't we travel to Val Royeaux now, Seeker? The breach isn't going to close itself. Indeed. The sooner we obtain help for the breach, the better.
Okay, Egghead. So, I like to explore the hinterlands as much as possible before I go to Val Royeaux. But Mr. Egghead over here is so pushy. I'm sorry if people are offended by me calling him Egghead. I do like him. He's so pushy. He's constantly, shouldn't we go to Val Royeaux? Shouldn't we be going to Val Royeaux as soon as possible? Yeah, we should. But also, hinterlands is huge. Can you take a chill pill? Full inventory. This is gonna get me a lot in the game because this game is very long, and you kind of, when you've been playing it for a long time, you get used to the advancements you get. So I'm used to my inventory being a whole lot fuller. So I wasn't even thinking about it this whole time. I'm gonna go get rid of a valuable or something after putting some new stuff on people. I forget to do that a lot too, to upgrade people's armor as I collect it. Yeah. So I'm just gonna get rid of a random valuable. Make sure you don't get rid of the stuff that you can take to the research table. I forget what it's called. Yeah, stuff like that. Random valuables, get rid of it. Save some inventory so you can get weapons and stuff. Then I'll probably go back to the merchant place. I'll go back to town, turn in some of my quests, and then sell some things. Start all over again. Swedish fingers. I think it's so goofy, some of the armor and weapons in this thing. I think you can actually find a cheese wheel somewhere. Or maybe that's in Origins. No, that's in this one. You find a cheese wheel for a shield. I feel like some of the rings and necklaces and whatever don't actually do anything unless you actually look at the bar and you can see that it's doing something. But I'm just putting whatever random things I can onto people just so I can make some room until I get to a merchant.
More supplies for Recruit Whittle.
Red lyrium. Whoever this dwarf was, he was in over his head.
Bianca Arms 1 Enhanced. I don't do a lot of upgrading, But when I remember how to do it, I'll show you. Make sure that you save stuff for Bianca, because Varric is the only person whose weapon you cannot change. You cannot give him a different bow because he has Bianca. And so anytime you find an upgrade for Bianca, make sure you save it and you upgrade it as soon as you can, as often as possible, whatever. Unless you're not going to use him, you're not going to take him with you on the adventures and stuff, then it doesn't matter. But if you like to have him in your party, make sure you're saving all your upgrades for him. And also, remember that we found an upgrade for Bianca on a random dwarf found next to red lyrium. I feel like it's foreshadowing. I'm not going to give a spoiler, but it foreshadows something that we find out later in the game that has to do with Bianca.
True enough.
And how much did you need?
It's good to have commerce.
Okay, now we're back at the crossroads, and there's a little merchant here that I'm going to go sell stuff. I don't think too hard. Once I've upgraded, whoever's currently in my party, once I've upgraded their armor and weapons and everything, I just sell the rest. Since I play on casual, it doesn't really bother me. Yeah, once we sell everything, then we can turn in all the quests in this area that we have finished and then move on to the rest of them. There's so many in the hinterlands. It's crazy. When I first got the game, I thought that every single area on the map was going to be like this, and I was like, this game is going to take 10 years to finish. And I bet you if you do everything, like everything, every hidden thing completely, I bet you it would take you, okay, maybe not 10 years, but still, it'd take a long time.
Of course.
You all right, sir?
I could feed half this camp if the hills weren't full of demons.
Here, maybe this will help.
It more than helps. With this, I can fill these hungry bellies, give these folks some hope. I didn't think much of the Inquisition, but no one else is helping like you lot. Maybe I was wrong.
I think this house here is where the woman lives for that quest that I was talking about that I was obsessed with finding. I think the wife lives here, and that's why there's a little quest, but I'm avoiding it because I, for some reason, got it in my head that you could find the husband first, or at least his ring on a Templar's body. I don't remember, but yeah, I avoid the house the whole time because I don't know why. I just got it in my head that I wanted to find the husband's ring first. I don't know.
More supplies for Recruit Whittle. The apostates locked themselves in for safety. And then the Templars set the house on fire.
It's so sad, but also rude. A page from a journal, edges scorched. The Templars were attacking the peasants we'd taken food from. They wanted to make certain that everyone fought to the death rather than help us. We took them by surprise with ice and lightning, and several were dead before they even saw us. So much for all that Templar discipline. The brutes are off the leash, just as much as we are now. Still, there were enough of them to damp our magic, and the sellswords died fast when it came to the blows. We've fallen back into the peasants' home. It's sturdy enough in here, and it looks like all the peasants didn't give up their food after all. The door's locked, and the Templars gave up trying to force it after we killed the last fool who tried. I can hear them out there doing something out in the trees. Whatever they try, we'll be ready. We're never going back to any circle. Even real Templars couldn't stop us, and these glorified bandits are no better than we are. From a page, scorched around the edges, apparently torn from a journal.
Excuse me, have you seen another Inquisition scout? Elven woman, answers to writs.
You said your friend hasn't reported back.
Well, she was supposed to be checking on some apostates. I'm on duty here, or I'd go look for her.
I'll talk to you later.
Decent spot to camp.
Nothing to report, sir.
I go back and forth a lot here to fill the requisition orders because the first time I ever
Dispatch for
played,
you.
I completely forgot
What
about
is
them.
it?
And
See
I
for
did
yourself,
I didn't
sir.
even know that the table existed. I accepted the first order at my first camp and then never touched it. And then when I figured out what it was too late, and I had already like sold a whole bunch of the things. So the ones in the hinterlands, I couldn't finish them. So I go back and forth a lot because I want to complete everything.
This might interest you, sir.
What is it?
This could help us. Dispatch for you.
What is it?
See for yourself, sir. It seems the Ferelden army has chosen to stay clear, for now.
More supplies for Recruit Whittle.
Another cold night coming.
Liska needs more than those threadbare rags. She's shivering all day long.
I know. I'll find something.
A letter found on a dead Templar. Alendra, I don't know how this will reach you, but with the last strength of my shaking hands, what else could I do but write you? Whether it will be the magic of this cursed breach, or the Maker punishing me for abandoning my vows, the end is coming. The terrors are with me more often than not. I came up here to try to find some peace with these believers, but the platitudes they mouth are cold comfort. If my mind falls to demons or my own darkness, I fear that even a weakened Templar will cause too much harm. I took a draught of bitter herbs. It will be over soon. I wish my weakness had not stopped me from reading you. With your phylactery, I knew just where you were, but the madness of your side and mine was too great a gap. Maker save you. Stay safe. You need no circle if you carry it within you. Love, Matrin. Phylacteries. A phylactery is a vessel, often a glass vial, containing the essence of a magical being. The Circle of Magi and the Chantry use small phylacteries filled with blood, taken from apprentice magi, to track down mages that turn apostate to flee the wrath of the Templars. Before an apprentice passes his harrowing, his phylactery is kept at his home circle tower. Phylacteries of first enchanters are stored in the White Spire and Orlesian Circle and the Templar Order stronghold. Vials belonging to legal yet powerful and controversial mages are kept in carefully hidden caches in remote locations. For anyone but a member of the Chantry, tracking one down is all but impossible, quite literally like trying to find a needle in a hay farm.
A Templar, I believe.
So before we head into this area over here, I'm going to go find writs and collect these random items here, obviously. But I like to go find writs first because you can recruit them. And it's just kind of funny where you find them. Yeah.
Templar deserters?
Let's look around.
Thank you. If not for you, I'd be dead. Do you need anything? I should probably report back.
This is a mage.
Eldreda, yes. I think that was her name. At least I'd heard other apostates call her that. The Templars attacked the apostate. I suppose I just got caught in the middle. So, the truth. I may have been, passing time with Eldreda.
You were trying to find a moment's peace in the midst of this war.
Yes. At first, she was just a mage who saw me and didn't attack, but later So, are you going to report me?
Look, kid, if you can talk an apostate out of her pants in the middle of a war, you've got a gift. Use it. Make contacts, get information, and help the Inquisition. Do that, and our lips are sealed.
All right. I can do that. And thanks for going easy on me.
I say funny, but it's actually kind of sad because she's dead now. But anyway, you can talk the pants off of it. It's funny. It's sad but funny. Oh, God.
More supplies.
I know you. They call you the Herald of Andraste for what you did at Haven. But are you? The Maker has not told me.
I honestly don't know myself.
As I suspected. Stories of you mastering the rifts are just blind heresy.
No, I can seal rifts.
Then prove it. Show me that the rifts bend to your will, the will of the Maker. Show me the power you wield.
This cult. What are you doing out here? What is it you think is happening?
The Chantry has fallen, and shown its imperfection in doing so. The Chant of Light was a lie. It was arrogance to think that mortal lips could frame the Maker's will, and so we wait in silence. The Maker has opened the sky. Soon he will call his chosen back to the Golden City.
Until later.
Until the Maker brings you back to us.
I suppose it only natural that some would turn to worshipping the breach, if only in hopes of appeasing it.
I spend a lot of time in here just trying to find some random items, and there's a couple quests in here I think to turn in. The body of the noble woman that you found, her boo. I don't think they're married. Her love interest is here. The man who wrote the letter to her is here. You have to let him know that hey, she passed away, and you can recruit him to the Inquisition. And then also the Shallow Breaths quest. You find the son here. He gives you the recipe and everything to turn in. And then you can close the rift. Bottles of Thetis, Vint 9, Rowan's Rose, delicate to the nose, comfort to the tongue, and strangely a half-remembered whisper to the ears. It is described as, and inspires, a wistful spirit, a vintner's opus.
Excuse me. While you were coming up, did you meet a young noblewoman with blonde hair and pale green eyes? Lady Leliana should be here. We need to be together when the Maker comes.
I found a woman's body down the hill with a letter on it.
This letter... Leliana is dead. But we were meant to be together. The Maker would not keep us apart. What am I supposed to do now?
The Inquisition needs men who believe as strongly as you do. Come and help us restore order.
Yes. If waiting here in the hills leaves innocents to die, then I will bring the Maker's word by the sword. My men and I will lend our strength to the Inquisition. Thank you. Thank you again. Lady Leliana would have loved this place.
I greet you. My name is Hindle.
Hindle, your mother can't breathe. Your father sent me here for potion.
What? She was fine. She hasn't had the breathing trouble in... All right, I can help. Here, I have some already made. Go, take it to her now. Hurry! Get her that breathing potion.
The demons prey upon the innocent, but our faith is strong.
The Maker will save us.
I feel like this would be easier with a mouse and keyboard, but I like to play with a controller. You gotta like creep all over here, get to these little boards, and then walk over. There's a dead body up in the rafters here. How did he get there? Who killed him? Who did this? I got some serious questions for these culty people. Queen Asha of Antiva. There are those who believe the tale that Antiva owes its independence to the looming threat of the crows, yet this story, largely spread by the crows themselves, is no more credible than the promises of a market stall huckster. For the truth of the matter, we look instead to the palace of the kings in Antiva City. A grand statue of a woman in Ravani royal garb towers over the entrance, her powerful eyes keeping sight of everything happening within those walls. Asha, Subira, Bahudur, Campana, Queen, Mother of Thetis. When the matriarchs of Ravane arranged the marriage of Princess Asha of Ayesli to King Alonso Campana of Antiva, it went unnoticed and unremarked by their contemporaries. The eyes of Thetis were on the wars of Orlais and Navarra. The marriage of a minor princess of Ravane to an almost powerless king was beneath their consideration. Yet this wedding was, in retrospect, perhaps the most important event in Thetis' history since the blackening of the Golden City. Queen Asha was a skilled tactician. Seeing the military ambitions of Tevinter, Navarra, and Orlais, she concocted a plan. Antiva was too prosperous to escape its neighbors' avarice, yet had no means of raising an army capable of fending off both Tevinter and Orlais without impoverishing the kingdom. If she was to safeguard her people, it must be through the measures stronger than steel. The queen spent decades making alliances in the ancient Ravani way, marriage. She wed her many children and grandchildren strategically into noble houses across the continent. Within 30 years, Antiva was so well connected that any hostile action against it would force half of the nations of Thetis into war. The blood of Queen Asha runs in the veins of the Empress of Orlais, the Prince of Starkhaven, the King of Navarra, and 7 of the Duke of the Anderfels. Even some of the magisters of the Tevinter Imperium have ties to the Antivan royal family. Asha's web of blood ties forces most of the continent to remain at peace with Antiva, or risk terrible consequences at family dinners. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, Travels of the Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genitivi.
Your father would not want this for you. He wants for nothing now.
We want no trouble here.
Peace to you.
So I was looking for this little thing here, this little statuette. I don't know exactly what it is, but I thought this one here you could activate. There's these little things to strengthen the veil or something like that Solus wants you to activate. I don't know why this one isn't, or maybe I just haven't got the quest yet, but anyway, that's why I spent a long time looking for it pointlessly. Can you imagine the splinters you'd get if you actually went down a wood ladder like that? Lornan's Exile, Our Tiranin Guerin's eldest son came late in the Arl's life, and there was much hope for the young man to follow in the footsteps of his successful father. Unfortunately, Lornan Guerinin proved to be profoundly lazy in his youth, more interested in spending his father's money than tending to his lands. In frustration, the Arl ordered a fort constructed in the mountains. He sent Lornan there, stating that his son could return to Redcliffe only when the bandits that lurked in the mountains had been brought to heel. Accepted history says that Lornan reformed, routed the bandits, and then returned to Redcliffe a changed man. Whispers in the family, however, suggest that the man who returned to Redcliffe was in fact a soldier who bore some resemblance to Lornan and who fought well against the bandits in the mountains while Lornan rested comfortably in his mountain keep for the remainder of his days. Excerpt from Living Redcliffe by Sister Dorcas Guerin.
I spy with my little eye.
No.
Oh, come now, Seeker. I'm just trying to be friendly.
Try to be quiet instead.
When you brought me along to talk, perish the thought.
So now we've closed the rift, proved to these people that we have control over them. Yes, I did that. Thank you. I did that. Yes, I did. Thank you very much. Yep.
Maker's tears. I was a fool to have doubted you. How may we serve you? Herald of Andraste.
Have your people help the refugees?
As you say, Herald of Andraste. Some few will remain here, the rest will go forth to do your will. When the Maker calls you to your great purpose, remember that we served you.
Saga of Tydra Brightaxe, of our mother, 4th stanza. Tydra Brightaxe, Thelm gold-handed, battle brought with blade and axe, Thelm in mail and shield of silver, shining sheen to turn attacks. Blade of dragon bone, now blooded, warrior throats wrung raw with cheers, Tydra stands, her bright axe blazing, legs still weeping battle tears. Bright the axe of leaf-eared lover, laughing lady of the skies, fire flares as Thelm gold-handed, honey-tongued repeats his lies. North to warmth and golden cities, whispers speak in dreamers' ears. Silver-scorched, the lyre flies, on ravens' beaks to dream unwaking. A letter found on a dead body. Brother, I have fled the circle, but I want no part of this mad rebellion. The Templars and my brethren have both gone mad, and their war has torn apart the very sky. Some of the other isolationists suggested fleeing, and I shall follow their example. It has been too long since I saw you, and it cannot be safe in Haven. If you can make it past the bandits and demons, join me at grandmother's old home, northwest of the crossroads. With your blade and my staff, we can get through this together. Okay, at this point I cut out a bunch of random traveling that I did that was pointless, because I was still trying to find that Elfman's ring. Now I'm just going to go turn in a few of the quests that I have, and then I'm going to go back to Haven, because I like to go make sure that I chat with people consistently, because there's some parts of the story that you can miss out on. And I'm also going to explain how to keep Leliana soft, or soften her personality. I don't know why it's called that, soften her personality, but there are specific dialogue options you have to take with her to keep her from honestly becoming a very violent person. And I think it will affect things that happen in Dragon Age 4.
Did you hear the news?
Good day to you.
And how much did you need?
Please, hurry.
For some reason, this quest, it wouldn't, like, when I first walked up to him, it kind of glitched, and so I couldn't speak to him, so I had to walk away completely, and then go back in, and it would let me turn in the quest. Weird stuff like that happens. I think it was because he was sitting down, and he couldn't get out of his chair.
Please, hurry.
Here you go. The potion and instructions on how to make it.
Silas bless you. Or the Maker. Or whoever. It doesn't matter. Just thank you. I'll give it to her right away. If ever I can help the Inquisition, you have my word.
Hunter's view of the Mage Templar War. The words in this note may have misspellings and are scrawled in a clumsy hand. Mother Valerie said things I saw won't get out of my head unless I put them somewhere else. She told me to write it down. It's a long time since I did letters, but I'll try. I saw refugees in the hills. I was there to hunt. I saw them, but did not say hello because I was on the trail. The refugees were going to Redcliffe. They were slow and bent over when they walked like old men. Templars came. They talked to the refugees. They hit them. The refugees gave food. Then mages came. The mages used fire. Everyone burned. I was in a bush. They did not see me. Some Templars killed the mages ran, the Templars wanted to run after them, a refugee was still burning, his arm went up to a Templar, the Templar used his sword, it went up and down, up and down. There were pieces of black. He stayed while other Templars ran after mages, he took things from bodies. One body was moving, it had long hair and burned dress, the Templar started to take off his armor and I shot him. I went down to the lady, she made a little noise and her eyes looked at me, then she died. I want it to get out of my head, please, Maker. I've been good. I want to get it out of my head. God, that's so sad. Ugh.
I passed round what you found. No one will go hungry.
Greetings.
I believe this is your phylactery. I found it on the body of a dead Templar named Matrin.
Ah. I suspected he died when he did not join me or send word. Maker curse the fools who started this war. And the fools who now fight it. Thank you. Matrin was important to me. Here, for your trouble.
The Inquisition could use the skills of a powerful mage.
If I wished to kill others, I would have joined the rebels. How is the Inquisition any better?
I don't know how this dialogue can go different if you're not a mage. I think you can ask someone else to talk to her. I'm not sure.
I came from the Circle myself. I know something of the conflict, and I didn't join the rebels either.
True enough. If the Inquisition believes I can help, then I will do what I can. My skills are yours. Just give me a moment to gather my things.
Maker, I hope it's not me.
Maker's breath. If I were back in the city, I could just steal some blankets.
I found some of the apostate's supply stores. I can mark the locations for you.
I'll get out there myself with a few men and pick them up. This will keep a lot more refugees alive next time it snows. I appreciate it.
I ended up traveling some more again to find that one quest, but then I was going to cut it out because I didn't find it, but then I ended up with this dialogue between Solas and Cassandra, and I just thought I'd leave it in there before I go back to Haven.
I confess, Solas, I am surprised you decided to remain.
Why? The breach remains a threat to us all.
Just the same. I wondered if you might leave now that we have a plan to seal it.
Ah, because I am an apostate. I might flee before the Inquisition throws me in chains. I take my commitment seriously, Seeker. Come what may, I shall see this through.
As you wish. Though I cannot guarantee what will happen in the days to come. Ugh.
I love that they give you the option to flirt with people like instantly. Cassandra is straight, but you can flirt with her as a female character for a little bit. She ends up shutting you down later.
I think you need practice dummies made of sturdier stuff.
That would be nice.
Like maybe iron.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
You didn't have any choice.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone. You've said you don't believe you're chosen. Does that mean you also don't believe in the Maker?
I can't really say.
I suppose it doesn't matter now. I have to believe we were put on this path for a reason, even if you do not. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us. It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
The Circle of Magi at Ostwick. At least until the rebellion began.
Yes, I suppose that would have required you to stay on the move. Tell me, do you consider the Free Marches your home? Are you eager to go back?
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
No motivation, beyond making things between us less...
Antagonistic?
Exactly.
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lady.
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentecosts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentecosts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
And you joined the Seekers to get away from that?
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentecosts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
I believe if you ask about her brother right now, she won't answer. You have to get a little closer to her, more friendly with her. And I don't want to get too far into the dialogue right now because the game just started.
So you are the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
I'll let you get back to work.
Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Are you from Ferelden? Orlais?
Free Marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. I won her from Paragon Smith Bronca in a game of Wicked Grace. She was such a sore loser. Ran off to the deep roads in a huff, and that was the last anyone saw of her.
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
And the reason for that is?
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
You're an author. What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Right now, we just need to be careful not to do anything rash.
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Leliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I am sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroyed the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Sacred. You're back. And in one piece.
You said you thought Master Tajan was working on something special. If it helps, I found his notes.
The old codger was on the edge of a breakthrough here, but he couldn't see it. You want some of these mixed up? You just give the word.
Farewell.
Can't trust any of you!
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing? You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
I don't think this particular dialogue wheel matters. I think you can ask her what the game means. But either any of these three things, except for bad things happen, I don't think that's a good option to say, but I don't think these three will affect her personality just yet.
I speak for no one but myself, and I have no answers for you.
Then we can only guess at what he wants. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
This is the first dialogue option that is very important. You need to say my sympathies. You need to be a person that's there for her, who's understanding. You need to put it in her head that, hey, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to make your decisions with your heart, whatever, things like that. If we want to just be technical about the game, just say my sympathies. But I'm thinking about it like a person. She's a person. Psychologically, I don't know.
I'm sorry. Her death has clearly hit you hard.
Not just me. All of us. She was the divine. She led the faithful. She was the heart. If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
And then again, being a person who's there for her, let me help you.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come. To work, then. We will speak later.
And then there's another dialogue option when she finds out that someone has betrayed. I don't know exactly, but she wants to execute someone and you have to stop her.
So it's true. Butler has stand on us. I hope my hunch was wrong.
You knew him well?
Not as well as I thought. Show me the reports.
Sigrid said the blankets weren't worth selling. He's giving them to the Inquisition for free.
There were so many questions surrounding Faria's death. Did he think we wouldn't notice? He's killed Faria, one of my best agents, and knows where the others are. You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once.
First you have to select, do you have to kill him?
Wait, what are you doing?
He betrayed us. He murdered my agent.
And you'd kill him, just like that?
You find fault with my decision?
and then let her know that killing isn't the answer.
We can't solve our problems with murder.
And what would you suggest? Leave him be. Butler's betrayal put our agents in danger. I condemned one man to save dozens. I may not like what I do, but it must be done. I cannot afford the luxury of ideals at a time like this.
Ideals are crucial.
Now is precisely the time for ideals.
You feel very strongly about this. Very well. I will think of another way to deal with this man. Apprehend Butler, but see that he lives. Now, if you're happy, I have more work to do. Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages? Why do you care?
I've known mages. Some of them were better people than me. And yet I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
Let's talk about you.
Me?
What did you do before you worked for the Divine?
I was a bard, an Orlesian spy for many years. For a time I also served a small cloister in Lothering. After the Blight, the Divine called on me to oversee her personal network.
I should leave you to your work.
We can always talk later.
Okay, and then later in the game there's more dialogue options. If you really don't care about Leliana, it doesn't really matter. There's someone else who can take the position that she needs, that will have consequences from all this. I don't know how to explain it without spoilers. Anyway, this is where I'm going to end off. The episode came out a lot longer than I thought it would be. This, for some reason, this is the only kind of video that takes 10 years to upload to my YouTube channel. Let me know if I'm talking too much, if you like that I'm reading all of the, I forget what they're called. Do you like when I read? Let me know. Or if you want me to shut up and not be such a tutorial kind of person. Later in the end of the game, I probably won't be able to give as much advice just because I don't know so much. But for the most part, I can give a little bit of a walkthrough. Hope you guys are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye!